Linus Udofia, Jermain Defoe, thank you for coming down to Wasserman Boxing. Linus, we'll start with yourself. How are you feeling, man?
Very well, very well. I can't wait to fight Jermain next.
Yeah, I was going to say that as well. I was like, yeah, looking forward to the fight. You know, just walking around fighting weights. I'm ready. Training camp's going well.
Yeah, well, you've caught me off guard. I wasn't ready for that, but no, good to hear. Good to hear for the British title. Yeah, no. Obviously, we're just joking. Jermain, Happy New Year. Did you have a good one?
Happy New Year. Yeah, it was good. It was chilled. Obviously, all the stuff going on and that, but just like, just relaxing that. Just hopefully this year's a good one, because the last couple of years obviously been difficult for obvious reasons for everyone and that, but hopefully it's a good one. And for my man, I'm going to go to his next fight. So obviously I'm a massive boxing fan, as everyone knows. So yeah, hopefully that it'll be good.
You are a boxing fan. We were speaking about the British title and the English heavyweights. Who's catching your eye at the moment on the scene? Who you watching at the moment?
Just before we obviously speaking about Conor Benn, obvious names. Obviously, I watched the Usyk and Joshua fight, all that sort of stuff. Tyson Fury's doing the stuff and that. But like I said, I watch all the fights, and I think boxing's back in it. If I remember, we spoke before about when I was young, the Eubanks and Benn fights, all these sort of fights, and then you get all the great fights over the years. But it just seems like now that boxing's back, there's so many great fights. And I've watched Eddie Hearn's interview recently, and he's buzzing about the new year, and all the different matchups and stuff like that. So it's interesting time for boxing at the minute.
Linus, we've spoke a few times. This year is the target for the middleweight British title. Middleweight boxing at the moment is wide open. We were speaking about it before. How are you feeling going into this year?
Yeah, really excited. My last fight was really, really good in my eyes. I said exactly what would happen. It's going to be a coming out party for me and Wasserman and things like that, and it's exactly what happened. And I think this year is where my name becomes synonymous with Eubank Juniors, Liam Williams, and all the domestic and world level competition out there. So I'm really excited about 2022.
What do you think about the middleweight scene as a whole? I'll come to your opinion as well in a second, Jermain. I mean, Golovkin, he's dominated the scene for a long time, but there's a shelf life with every sportsman. Canelo's moved up in weight. Chris Eubanks on the scene. There's Charlo. There's a lot going on. What do you think of the middleweight scene?
I think it's wide open. I think it's full of talent. It's there to be for the taking. I think just need someone to grab it and kind of make it theirs, and that's what I'm looking to do this year.
When you look at the middleweights in the whole world, let alone just in this country, Jermain, what do you see? Who's catching your eye?
I don't know. It's funny though, because you see coming from football, and then you speak about boxing, all the different weights and stuff like that. It's always baffled me. Yeah. It's always baffled me with the weights and stuff. But obviously, you mentioned Golovkin. I've always been a big fan. And I remember he fought Kell Brook. When was that? When did he fight Kell Brook? And then I thought to him, because I'm a Kell Brook fan. I remember watching that fight. I think the guy's unbelievable. The way he won the fight against top opposition, and obviously he fought Canelo, and then I think that's when I looked at Canelo and I thought, this guy's just on another level. And I think the best thing that happened to Canelo was losing to Floyd. I think for me, that's just my opinion, that's the best thing that's happened to him, because I think since then he's just taken it to another level. And people talk about sometimes disappointment. Sometimes disappointment it's like a blessing. I think that for me that was the best thing that happened to him. He's just gone.
Yeah, learn the game, so to speak. You both have experience playing football, obviously professionally. Linus, you're a boxer. We were talking before about the difference between training of football and boxing. Jermain, have you ever taken part in boxing training?
Yeah, it's tough, because you know what, I've got the heavy bags at home, right? And then what I used to do is, in the summer, I would I'd put a song on. Song's about 3 minutes, and I'll just hit the bag.
What's your fighting song?
The Rocky 4 soundtrack. The Rocky 4 soundtrack is the best. So anyway, I'll hit the bag and that, and then literally arms and that. Because you're not used to it. Yeah. So like my arms and then I just think, how do you do it? Because you hit and not get hit. Do you know what I mean? It's just like it's unbelievable. And obviously in football, the hardest part of football is like pre-season, because you've had a rest and you come back and all the running and stuff like that. But even still, that's why I've got so much respect for boxers and that, because it's not just about the training, because we train and go home, unless you go abroad. But a lot of times we train and you can go home, and then you go home and you switch off. But with boxing, you're in training camp for, 2 months or 12 weeks, whatever it is and that, and it's literally 12 weeks of killing yourself. It's crazy.
How does it differ, Linus, from a pro footballer to a pro boxer? How does it differ?
No, like you said, spot on about the pre-season stuff, and like if someone said, yeah, what kind of training would you rather? Football all day long, it's so much easier. But one of the hardest things I found, and I can only speak from my experience, like I found about my training and my camps is when it's incredibly, you were saying off camera, it's incredibly lonely. It's like when you've got people in the gym with you, but you know, a lot of times there's a switch off. There's like, you can just, you know, you do your training, you go home, you switch off, but not always. Like coming up to about 6 weeks away from my fight, I just get like a hotel right next to my gym, and literally my day to day is wake up 6 a.m, do my training, do track, do something, and then go back home, make some food, eat it, go straight to sleep, get up again an hour later, sparring, get back, shower up, eat up, go to sleep, get up, 3 hours later, training again. And then by then I might be done at like 6, and you think, oh yeah, he's got the evening. No, I'm straight in bed. I'm laying there, fall asleep, and that is me for about 6-7 weeks.
Mate, I'm tired.
Yeah, it's lonely. Like you just get about like all I ever do is, let's say, play PlayStation with some mates, but it's not the same. You're not out in town. You're not here. You can't just go to a restaurant. You can't just. You know what I mean, all your life is just that. And then after the fight, you just want to get the hell away from boxing for a bit, and then you see some friends, see some family, because you don't see any friends or family for that whole time you're in a camp. So
and you know, I've got a question now. So you know, obviously, the closer it gets to the fight, do you sort of like the opponent? Would you watch certain things? Like, would you watch a bit of their camp and like what they're doing and that, and or if they're like, I don't know, you probably can't see the sparring footage and that, but would you think, oh, he's had 3 sessions there, or he's done this, or he's done that, or he's training here, training altitude, and that, he might have the advantage. Because a lot of sports mental. A lot of it, it's probably 80%. Because when mentally, if you're strong mentally, whether that's football, tennis, whatever it is, then, do you know what I mean, it's good. So I always think with boxers sometimes, I think they look at certain things. Because I've been watching the Brooke and Khan, the build-up sort of thing, and I saw, obviously, Khan's running in altitude and all that sort of stuff, and I thought, I wonder if Kelpot's looking at it thinking, maybe I should be doing a little bit of altitude training. Do you know what I'm saying?
It's different. It's different for everyone. Loads of different training techniques work for different fighters.
Yeah.
Coaches, certain coaches. That's more the coach's beliefs and things like that. But the only time that you'd watch your opponent is just to know what you kind of up against. But my coach would normally watch my opponent. I wouldn't, but he'd normally watch my opponent and see what they do really well. Yeah. And try and get me to be ready for that and see what they do really bad and try and get me to take advantage of it, and we drill things like that on our own camps and stuff.
How do you mentally stay focused though? Because I put you both in your professional trade. If you're one-on-one with a goalkeeper, bearing down, you've got to keep that calm head. You know, it's the last minute, 0-0, whatever, and you've got to get that. Same with you. You know, maybe you're on the ropes and it's a big foul, whatever, and you've got to block it all out. How?
I'll do it from training though.
Yeah.
So I'll train like I play. So like if I do like if the coach says we're doing like a finishing session, I'm doing a finishing session at 100% intensity. So I'm not taking a touch and messing about. I'm doing it at 100% intensity, so that, because all I want to do is put myself in a sort of like game situation scenario. Because all I want is on the weekend, I want to get in that scenario again, but I just want my instincts to kick in. I don't want to be thinking about it. So I've done all my stuff in training, all the sort of like different shots around the box, so that I'm confident, so I can do all the quick stuff. But in front of goal, I just want to be relaxed. So that if I'm relaxed here, then hopefully on a match day, that I'll be relaxed, instincts will kick in, and then I'll just do it.
So it's muscle memory.
Yeah, basically.
Literally, took the words out of my mouth. I train exactly how I'd be fighting.
Yeah.
Everything I do in the ring, I've been practicing for the last 12 weeks. Everything that comes out, I've been practicing it, and I've been going 100%. Like I see, like we have an aqua bag, and my last knockout, I slipped a jab and threw an uppercut. I've been doing that 12 weeks before. That's brilliant. Every day, drilling it. Because my coach was like, look, that's one of your best punches. You stopped doing it over the last few fights. Drill it again. And drilling it every day, and that's what finished the fight. So,
you see, like, so like fighting that, say you've been working on something, you say that you look at an opponent, you think, well, I'll catch him with this one. We just said, I think I'll catch him with this. And then, do you know sometimes after the first round, do you think to yourself, yeah, I've got him, you know?
Oh yeah.
And he knows, sort of thing.
Yeah. Not necessarily he knows, but let's say like there's a few there's a few things you do to kind of see what someone's about.
Yeah, and you're close. You're close.
Yeah. You try and get them to do something to see how they react.
Yeah.
So everything we do is all action reaction. So if I want you to react to something, if I want to see how you are going to defend a punch, or what you're going to do if someone comes at you, you know, you feint someone.
Yeah,
give them a little flinch, and you know, you see how that normally tells me 80% about what someone's about. Then that normally gives me a lot of an idea. And then obviously, when they're doing stuff, you make them miss stuff. It's a lot of it is collecting data. Like before I landed that shot on the guy, I tried it around before, and I saw how much he leant in, and I thought actually I caught him a little bit with that first one. If I just adjusted, and my coach said it to me and sat down, he goes, if you just adjust a little bit more to your right,
you got him.
It's there. Just
See,
adjust
that's
a little
interesting
bit more. It's there.
Because I remember when Floyd fought Hatton, and he obviously caught him with a check hook.
Yeah.
He tried it a few times during the fight.
Yeah.
It's only obviously after the fight, because when he was doing it, but when I'm watching it,
you don't pick that up.
I didn't pick it up. And when he knocked him out with a check hook, I thought he done that a few times.
Yeah.
Do it, bam, might catch him on his shoulder, on back of his neck and that. Then he got him in the corner going backwards, waited, check hook, and I just thought, wow. So then I thought, obviously, he must have been doing that in training camp. You're going to catch him with a check hook and that, and you're doing that in training camp. And the feeling that you must get, because I know in football, you know, like when we're training and you might practice something in training, and then when you practice something in training and you do it on a match day, that feeling for boxers, I think
it's different.
That punch and that must be unbelievable.
It's different. It's different. I can tell you now, it's exactly like when you score a goal. When you score something you've been practicing, it's the same thing. It's a good feeling. It's a good feeling. But you know, I train how I fight. I mean, I train. It's just it all goes into muscle memory. You do it without even thinking about it. And then when you watch it back, you're like, oh my god, yeah, I've been doing that. I've been practicing it.
It's perfectly according. Listen, Jermain, I don't want to keep you both for too much longer. Let me put you both on the spot real quick fire round. We'll go between boxing and football, both of you. Who's the best boxer in the world currently?
Fury. Yeah, Fury.
Favourite of all time?
Floyd.
Or Jones Jr.
That's a good answer. Who's the best football player in the world at this moment?
Mo Salah. I give reasons.
Go on.
I just think the reason I say Mo Salah because I just think numbers. That's all it is, numbers. And I just think he's so relentless. I always say to him, he's an animal. He's so relentless. And I just think with Salah, when you watch him play, he doesn't complicate anything.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It doesn't complicate anything. Relentless running, and he gets chances and he scores. And that's just, these numbers are just frightening.
Can't argue, or can you?
Good runner. Consistent.
Yeah, I love
brings
that.
the team.
To be fair, you could say the same thing, couldn't you?
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
He does everything right. He brings the team. He attacks. He defends. He's a captain. He's just reliable, and he puts in the numbers.
Just finally, favourite player of all time?
Ronaldo.
Cristiano or?
Cristiano.
I want to say Messi.
I mean, that's a question in itself, which we won't go down.
Leave it there. Now.
Yeah.
We could be here all day.
Yeah, I think I don't even like when people compare them, to be honest.
Two legends can live together.
I don't
two
think
legends
I don't like
can
it
be
when-
two legends
I
together.
know obviously Messi 7 Ballon d'Ors, Ronaldo 6, 5 Ballon 5, Messi 7, Ronaldo. But I just think, see with Ronaldo, and people said this many times. See with Ronaldo, he's the prime example of if you want to improve, then 1%, work every day like no one else.
Yeah.
Like you have to be willing to do things that other people are not willing to do. Like to be the one that stayed behind after training. I heard at Man United, one pre-season when he's small when he first came, one pre-season he came back. Rio Ferdinand said he was like a different person.
Yeah.
And he said he was in the gym, the first person in the gym, the first person in the training ground, last person out. He went to Italy. Some of the players were like, let's try and get there before him. He gets to training, he's in the gym already. All that sort of stuff. So he's the prime example. But I just feel like Messi is someone that's God gifted.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I'm not saying he didn't work hard on that,
Yeah.
but that's just God gifted. Like some of the things he does, he probably doesn't even know that he's doing it.
The ball's like magnetised.
Yeah, he probably doesn't even know he's doing it.
Yeah.
Why didn't you say Floyd?
Floyd. I think, well, you know, the reason I've started anything with boxing or ever seen was because of Roy Jones. I watched one of my mates, I was like in my mate's house, and we just had YouTube on it. We must have got into boxing.
Yeah.
And I saw a video of him like knock someone out with like 7 left hooks. Like just, and I was thinking, who's this guy? So I kept on watching it. And I think it ended with him put his hands behind his back.
Yeah.
Slipped, and then caught the guy left hook, walked off. And he said to his trainer, "Yeah, we got somewhere to be. I'm gonna knock him out this round." And I was like, "Who's this?" Yeah, and I was like, "Who's this guy? Who is this guy?" So I started watching it. I was like 16. I started watching it.
Yeah.
And then I watched. I went, I want to do that. I want to like that makes me. He's made me want to do that sport. I want to do this sport. I want to see what it's about.
Yeah.
I started walked into a gym and started training. Next thing you know, I'm here. So Joe, that's he's
What do you think
idol,
about? What do you think
icon,
about? Because I know the guy. What do you think about Derek Chisora? He's a madman, isn't he?
Can I be honest?
You can be honest. You can be honest.
I love Chisora. He's Del Boy, innit? He's Del Boy, but he's been stealing the living for the last 5 years.
You think?
How's the guy still on pay-per-view for this long? Like, how?
But do you know what it is? Like the English fans love it. Boxing
Yeah,
fans
no, he's
love
Del
it.
Boy, innit? He's Del Boy. He's doing well. He's done his thing. You can't hate it.
Get hit
I mean,
too
fair
much.
play to him, but I think it's time to call it a day, innit?
He said that he's not going to though, is he?
No.
Yeah, it's getting dangerous now. It's sound like, you know what I mean?
Animal.
What did he say? He said I'll see you in the summer. So
Yeah.
he's coming back, isn't he?
Derek Chisora, I love Derek Chisora.
Del Boy, innit? Del Boy.
He used to come out with us back in the day. Remember when he used to? What a guy! Everyone loves him, innit?
Yeah. You
Del
can't.
Boy.
Listen, boys. Maybe we'll get Derek down here for the next one. Listen, boys.
No.
Get me out of the room. Man. Delete that. Get me out of the room. Oh.
Him coming at that. Where is he?
Flip his tables.
Thank you very much, guys.
No
Appreciate
worries.
it.
No.